A little preface. Originally I wanted to make this video like these two my videos, in which I played a tank 10 battles. But after these 2 battles, I was psychologically destroyed, so I decided to make this video in a slightly different format. Hi everyone. Finally, after 6 years of playing this miserable game, I got the Object 260. Unfortunately, I never had a chance to shoot my first impressions of this tank, and now I already played about 100 battles. But nevertheless I decided to make this video. By watching it everyone will decide for himself, whether to try to get this tank or not, and whether it's relevant now, in 2022. I took one of my most effective battles on this tank as the basis. It's pretty beautiful, and most importantly, demonstrative. Commenting this battle, I will also describe the pros, cons, and main features of this tank. Well, let's begin. As you can see, I decided to go to town. And though the way there is very dangerous, on the way you can be shot by enemy tank destroyers or arty, which most often happens, I bravely drive forward, because Object 260 has fantastic mobility. And I know for sure that I'll successfully take the position I need. It's also worth noting why I chose this flank. Quite simply, Object 260 has pretty poor depression angle of gun, namely 6 degrees. It's not bad, but not enough to play comfortably on hills. So, I arrived at the position. Since I didn't see any enemies there, and considering the fact that I'm playing battle with tier 8 tanks, I decided to play very aggressively. I also know that my armor is more than enough to safely pushing tier 8 enemies. Now you might argue that I couldn't do this in battle with tier 10 tanks. Yes, you're right, in that case I would play more carefully. But still, even against tier 10 tanks, Object 260 armor works very well. It has a titanium impenetrable turret, very strong sides, as well as a strong hull forehead with a complex shape. In short, in terms of armor this tank is the same as the IS-7. Keep this comparison in mind, I'll come back to it. Well, as you can see, I've successfully pushed enemy tanks, shooting a lot of damage along the way, and try not to stop. And as quickly as possible to drive to the enemy base to help my allies on the other flank. The excellent mobility allows me to do this. Also, you may have already noticed another very important advantage. The Object 260 has just incredibly comfortable gun. Accuracy, stabilization, aiming time, all of this is awesome. As you can see, I'm in motion almost all the time, and I only stop a little bit for full aiming. In short, you can see for yourself. But there's one thing. The damage per minute is pretty weak, as for a heavy tank in 2022, and it's only about 3,100 with all improvements. For comparison, some VZ-111-5A has about 3,600 damage per minute, not to mention T-110E5 or Super Conqueror. Yes, that's a little disadvantage of Object 260. But still, I personally didn't feel much discomfort with it. Okay, let's get back to the battle. As you can see, I killed all enemies at the base, and now I'm on the way to that flank to finish off the rest. Just look at this stabilization. Oh yeah, it's really nice. So, now I will be dueling with one of the strongest tier 10 medium tanks, the STB-1. I suggest you just watch it, and I'll summarize the results in the meantime. Well, Object 260. Currently, in my opinion, this is the best tier 10 Soviet heavy tank. It has excellent mobility, excellent armor, and great gun, with 2 minor drawbacks in the form of a weak depression angle and not very much damage per minute. Yes, there are a few nuances. For example, if you face an experienced enemy, he will have no problem pen you with every shot because of features of the hull forehead. But trust me, it's just nothing. Just remember the IS-7, which for all its faults is a pretty good tank. So if you like IS-7, then you'll like Object 260 a lot more. If you don't have Object 260 yet, I highly recommend you to get it, because this tank is really cool. It can offer you enjoyable gameplay and give you a lot of positive emotions. Okay, thank you for watching this video to the end, I hope you found it useful. Write in the comments what do you think about this tank. It's time to say goodbye. Good luck to everyone, and remember, Don't play World of Tanks.